It's Madmen Sports. It's your boys.
Ever since 2017, we are back and we are whack.
And we're calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, I feel a little bit better. The comment section made me feel really nice.
I'm surprised that we didn't have to fight them off with a baseball bat.
No, because
Fairly supportive.
our listeners are good listeners.
They're smart.
The hardest part of life is listening. And they come here, don't talk much, but they listen. And that's a really important trait. We have fantastic listeners.
We do.
And they know my feelings now. Now they know my feelings.
You left it all on the table there.
No, I didn't. You accidentally pressed pause, and we had to stop recording.
I was going to look something up, and then apparently it's not allowed.
Made me very unhappy because I had so much to keep going. But I was ready. I was okay to go to bed.
That's good.
Sunday, disappointing. Super disappointing.
Yeah. But
Do you have anything to say on it still?
let's look towards the future.
McDermott, very candid in his press conference this morning.
Was he? I didn't.
Very candid. Called out Deanna Dawkins by name.
Really?
Yeah, said Dion has been a franchise left tackle for this team, but he needs to step up.
Wow. Anything about Cody Ford?
Drop your score prediction below. Please be reasonable. They're not scoring 40 points this week. You could win this autograph ball. I'll send it to you.
I don't know how good our image quality is. I hope they didn't see that.
Let them see it.
You want to give some incentive?
No. Just keep putting those scores down there, and I'll keep making sure this ball's here every week, apparently. Yeah, I mean, you can't lose to a 1-6 team.
Well, we did.
Yep, you did. So now you go against a 2-7 team, 2-6 team out of the New York, New Jersey Jets.
Yeah.
Listen, the schedule makers made you a real easy piece right here. They gave you the Jaguars, and they gave you the New York Jets. And what do you do on it? You pissed on it. You pissed all over it.
He's not done, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, you're going to go 1-1 against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans, and now you're telling me that you're going to go 1-1 against the Jets and the Jaguars?
It's not what I wanted.
I don't think that's football to me. I don't think that's winning football. What kind of culture is that, Sean?
That's not Super Bowl winning football.
Poor culture. You mean to tell me that you preach culture since 2017, and now you're going to have guys not ready to play?
I thought we were over this.
I thought I was too. But you know what?
Zach's hurt.
You're never going to touch the number 1 seed now. You throw it all away.
Yeah, that's over with.
Over with. Tennessee Titans are 7-2.
Yeah.
You know who's 5-2? 5-4. 3. The Bills are 5-3. You know who's 5-4? New England Patriots. They're on your tails. They're nipping at your heels. They want to get Odell Beckham in the room.
Yeah, that's not good.
And you know why it's not good? Because you should be going after him. I don't care what you think about it. The worst case scenario, you're getting an average wide receiver. An average wide receiver with that quarterback is going to make it work.
And to date, publicly, the Bills are not even talked about.
Not yet. Hopefully it's a secret thing. I always like secrets out of Bean. But I'll tell you what. You know what's really scratching my bean is the fact that the Tennessee Titans are the number 1 seed. You're looking up at them. They have the game tiebreaker. They have the tiebreaker in hand. They've lost Derrick Henry, and they're still beating the Los Angeles Rams by a lot. That wasn't a close game.
No.
You know, and I'll go a step further to say the Patriots have a rookie quarterback, and they're looking to bring in Odell Beckham. The Kansas City Chiefs are talked about trying to bring in Odell Beckham. Your offense just put up 6 points against one of the worst defenses in the league. Why are you not in conversation? Odell could be a great slot receiver, and you're going to say Cole Beasley is a slot receiver, and I'll tell you that Cole Beasley looks a step slower this year.
Yeah.
He looks hurt from his rib injury, which he's sitting out of practice from right now. Coomer Owen on the COVID list this week. What kind of miracle are you looking to cook up here? Any chance you have to bring in someone right now? He's sitting there. Cleveland just let him walk out. They have a terrible quarterback. I'll go on the record to say Baker Mayfield's terrible. Definitely two tiers below Josh. That's a running team. That's the same offense that Stephon Diggs begged to get out of. Think about that for a minute. Wide receivers don't like that offense. Diggs wanted out. Odell wanted out. You know where Diggs went? Buffalo worked there. Why isn't Odell to the Bills talked about it all? And that's what this is a Jets podcast. Bills Jets podcast. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
I expected this. I think they did too.
there's a good wide receiver on the market, and it's been 3 days, and I haven't heard the Bills connected to him at all. And maybe it's one of those, Bills are being quiet. But Sean McDermott made the joke on trade deadline day. Excuse me, the day after trade deadline day, that he had to knock on Bean's office door to see if he was awake or if he was working in there. You knocking now, Sean? I'd knock.
You should be.
I'd knock right now. There's no excuses. Listen, Gabe Davis, everyone could say, Dave would be sitting here right now. You don't need to bring in someone. You got Gabe Davis that isn't even used. Tell me why he's not used.
Dropped a ball that would have won us the game.
Tell me why Gabe Davis isn't used. Because he's not beating out a 34-year-old Emmanuel Sanders. He's not beating out Cole Beasley for playing time. I mean, this offense scored 6 points. There's not guys beating these guys out. There's not a competition there. I thought you had to earn your spots. Now, granted, the whole game wasn't on the wide receivers. The whole game wasn't on the offensive line. The whole game wasn't on the quarterback. There's a lot of problems on Sunday. Try to fix one. Try to give another option.
Yeah.
Isaiah McKenzie, they're not even, and this is the part, didn't want to do this. This is the part that really bothers me, is that they're not even running the same offensive schemes as last season. They're never doing any jet sweep motions, not even fake jet sweep motions. Listen, your running backs aren't a threat. Zach Moss is out with a concussion. He's in concussion protocol, will not play this week. Matt Breeda's got some speed. But your offensive line's a problem. So if you want to bring the hint of play action into your offense, why aren't you running jet sweeps?
That's an effective way to use them because teams obviously know.
You take a man to the other side of the field.
Yeah.
You give Isaiah McKenzie a head start on his route. It's,
it's good for determining coverages as well.
Of course, which, maybe he's already doing it, but you know what? You're shading off blitzes too. I watched the all 22 yards per pass does the GIF breakdown that I love. I always send it to Jake. I don't think he gives a shit out of that.
I like the Brian Baldinger
breakdown. He does the voice, yeah. I like just watching it. I hate voiceovers. That's the problem what I don't love with Eric Turner on Twitter. He always does the voiceovers. It's like, dude, we've been paused for 3 seconds. I'm in the middle of my workday. Show me the clip or get on with it. But I love yards per pass. He does a great job there. And come on, what are we doing here? You're not even running the same offense. You got guys blitzing off the end. You're losing 5-on-4 battles on the offensive line.
Embarrassingly so.
Change up the defense. Pre-snap motion is important. The fact that they haven't gone to that bothers me. And what are you waiting for? This is a team. You're going against the Jets team right now who's hungry. They've beaten the Bengals. They've beaten the Titans. They've got some players. Listen, I don't like their defensive coordinator coach. Josh has cooked them before. Hopefully he cooks them this week because, man, if they're not in the kitchen right now whooping up the best damn sauce they have for this team right now, I want to feel bad for the Jets this week. I do. Because a team should go, like, sitting there, I want to beat the shit out of the Jets this week. That's what the Bills should be thinking. But they laid an egg in the first half of Miami and came out the following week and laid two half eggs. Am I wrong? I feel like the Bills don't have a fire this year. Pittsburgh came out, punched them in the mouth. The whole game we were waiting for the Bills to be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to fight back. They didn't fight back.
I mean, you look at the report from the player on the Jaguars team. I forget his name.
They didn't look ready.
They didn't care. The Bills looked like they didn't care.
Where's that fire going to come from? Is it the coach?
It's getting too late.
Exactly. You're halfway through the season. You have 9 games left. You played 9. I mean, what is McDermott doing? And sometimes I wonder if he's even with us. I mean, I think about that game and the Emmanuel Sanders fumble. And then you take a timeout. Like, why not just try to lose the timeout on trying? And I think he would have won, too. A free timeout. Imagine a free timeout in this economy.
It was a football move.
There's cargo ships floating in the ocean right now. And they were going to give him a free timeout in this economy.
This isn't a politics podcast.
It's not. It's a supply and demand. And I demand that the Bills come with the supply of touchdowns this week.
It seems like Brian Dable really wants to stay the offensive coordinator in Buffalo.
Listen, I said it almost every time he's lost this year. I said, wow, Dable really wants to stick around. Maybe he does. West Angola guy, St. Francis. Maybe him and Greg Roman are a match made in heaven of guys that should always be offensive coordinators. And you know what? Sometimes I watch this offense.
What are you going to say? Say it.
I don't know if he should be the offensive coordinator sometimes.
Wow, you said it.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, God.
So the Jets. We're playing the Jets.
The Bills are playing against the New Jersey Jets this week. They have Mike White starting at quarterback. They do not trust Zach Wilson. I think the other two quarterbacks, Josh Johnson and Matt White, have played better in that offense than Zach Wilson has this season, which is very scary.
Let's not forget, Mike White threw for 400 passing yards.
451 and caught a 2-pointer. And I'll even go a step further is Zach Wilson. That's going to go down as a bad pick.
I think it already has.
He might. You know, I'll say it because Zach Wilson was a 1-year starter at BYU. He only played because the starter, his last year there, got hurt. Came out, COVID year, had a subpar year against some weird teams. Big arm, though. Jets are going to regret that one. Mac Jones, however, that might be something.
Yeah.
Everyone passed on him besides Bill. So can this team rebound this week, Jake? Can they or will they? I guess that's two different questions.
Can they? Yes. Will they?
I'm looking for a fire.
Praying to God.
I'm looking for a fire out of this team. I haven't seen anything yet. This team is almost lifeless.
I need a sustained fire. I don't need losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers, dropping 35 on the Dolphins, beating the shit out of the Texans, beating the shit out of the Washington football team.
And it's the offense that I need it out of. The defense is flying around. Defense is playing games.
Which is strange comparing things to last year.
Not strange to 2019, though.
No? I thought we were done with that, though.
No, I'm joking.
I thought we were done with that. I thought we were done with the Bills of yesterday.
Listen, the bottom line is I trust I trust Josh Allen to be my franchise quarterback. No ifs, ands, or buts. He's our franchise quarterback.
Yes.
But it looks like he's struggling from the guys around him sometimes. Offensive line, you could start there. You could say maybe the guys aren't getting open. I saw that on a couple plays from yards per pass today, too.
Just a shame. If we somehow lose to the Jets, our playoff berth is in doubt.
In 1992, the Bills were 17-point favorites against the Indianapolis Colts and lost. The following week, they were 14-point favorites against the Jets and lost. Last week, they were 17-point favorites against the Jags. This week, they're 14-point favorites against the Jets.
Yeah, this still shouldn't happen.
Do you think history repeats itself?
I fucking hope not.
Me too, buddy. Bills are wearing white on white. They're staying away from that white and blue combo,
So
which
this
I
is a
hate.
good combo.
I hate that. I don't know why they keep doing it. Do you know their winning percentage is 42% while wearing that jersey combo? Everything else is plus 56. 42%.
I'm not one to be superstitious, though.
You don't have to be superstitious. That's a statistic.
Yeah, but it's anecdotal.
No, it's not. They have it for all the jerseys. It must be something.
Yeah, but you can't you can't begin to tell me that the colored jerseys they're wearing is really affecting their play.
I don't need to tell you. The stats are telling you that they lose 58% of the times wearing that jersey.
Stats can represent a certain scenario. Doesn't mean that they have a contributing factor.
The scenario is that they lose in those jerseys.
Yeah, but them wearing other jerseys.
I object.
There is no.
I watched a lot of
substantial
court case today,
evidence.
man. What does the offense need to do this week? And I don't want the generic bullshit that I can see anywhere else. I don't want. Oh, they need to block better. Oh, they need to get open. Josh Allen needs to be sugar high Allen less. Tell me the real rawhide of it. Tell me what the fans want to hear. Tell me something that the fans aren't going to hear somewhere else. What does the offense need to do this week?
The offense needs to put more emphasis on using their weapons.
Keep going.
It's easy to find Cole Beasley on third down. It's easy to find Emmanuel Sanders open. It's not easy to get Stephon Diggs the ball. Stephon Diggs needs the ball. You do not need to run on first and second down. You don't need to run at all. Like you've been saying, jet sweeps are important. Get those guys involved. Get the guys that have been ghosts on this offense involved because you used them last year and they were mighty successful. So use those guys. I'm going to give you some cliche answers. The offensive line need to get their shit together quick.
They might get Spencer Brown. He was limited this week.
And that's fine, but you still have a lot more issues on this offensive line that Spencer Brown isn't going to solely fix.
I think if Brown comes back, you're looking at Brown, Williams, Morse,
Don't say it.
Ford, Dawkins.
Okay. Don't use screens in situations that don't warrant screens. I saw a lot of screens last week.
Last 2 weeks, they're having to do bubble screens because they cannot get time for the protection.
So get the protection, roll out of the pocket. We've all seen some of Josh Allen's best throws have been on the run. Maybe at this point we talk about designed rollouts.
I'll tell you this. I saw on the tape today that Tommy Sweeney got into a lot of passing lanes for Stephon Diggs. Obviously not by design. He was getting pushed off his line. But maybe not Dawson Knox, who was limited in practice today, comes back, and we see a little something there.
I hope so.
I'll tell you this. I think what we need to see out of the offense is better zone run offense. And you know what? I'm going to tell you straight up. They're going to run the ball this week.
It's a big mistake.
Zach Moss is out, but I'm going to see a healthy dose of Singletary and Burrito. And I'll tell you why. Is because they should be able to beat up on this team. And you're going to see the passes. You're going to get your dose of passes. But they want to gain some kind of confidence, try new things against this team that Jonathan Taylor carved up last Thursday.
Yeah, but you don't need to.
Listen, you don't need to. But you need to get right. You need to be able to establish it, put it on tape, get it going, get something going.
Your success last year was throwing the ball 55 times a game.
100%. I'm not saying otherwise.
And I'm not arguing with you.
But you need to, and listen, I'm a pass first guy. I've always have been. You need to establish some sort of threat for the play action, though.
Yeah.
And I think you do it against this.
By jet sweeps.
I'm not saying you don't do those either.
I'm not trying to argue with you.
I think you need to get the zone blocking correct. I listen, you're going to have to do some things this week that you haven't done all season.
Yeah, and what they've been doing is running on first and second down to, yes, no success. But I don't think a pep talk, and that's really the only thing that can happen from 1 week to the next. You're not fixing zone blocking just by giving a great pep talk. You're talking about personnel, and personnel that's not working. You have to work with what you have. And now, yeah, we're not going deep. We're not going to be able to hold the ball for 5 seconds. Now, that's an exaggeration, sure. But you're going to have to revert back to what you did last year. And what Zach has been saying, I'm going to harp on because it's important. Because, correct, our running backs, play action isn't going to be viable with that because they know. Look at the tape. Are you telling me the Jets didn't see that tape? We're not running the ball with any sort of eviction. So why even try? You look at the Bills last year. Ran the ball 10 times a game at most. We're not running on first and second down. We're not running these bubble screens. Get creative. Don't get creative in terms of throwing the ball to Josh Allen because that's not going to help you. Get Isaiah McKenzie involved. And that's it.
The Browns signed 2 offensive guards today.
Really?
Yeah. Re-signed them long term.
Re-signed?
Must be nice. Re-signed.
Okay.
Must be nice.
And let me guess. One of them formerly on the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. They got a 4-year deal.
And Quentin Spain, obviously not on the Browns. Still playing well.
Bengals?
Bengals. Yes.
That line's got some problems.
But he has played well.
I would take a starting NFL guard, though. What does the defense need to do? You can't make Mike White something he's not, right?
Is Levi still hurt?
I don't think I saw him on the report. I know Tremaine Edmonds did not practice. He's out with a hamstring.
Terran's still
which is
hurt?
okay because I can get some A.J. Klein work this week or Terrell Dotson. Terran is limited, so I think he's going to come out the protocol, hopefully.
Okay.
So we got some good luck there. What does the defense need?
You just continue to get pressure. We didn't get any quarterback pressures last week.
Thank you.
I think that's important. You show that you can do it. Excuse you. That's okay. That's fine. But it's important to do that. Your back half, your secondary, has been bailing you out. They have been
You
for
got
the
to get
last couple of
You got to
years.
get some pass rush, absolutely.
And that's going to cause the turnovers.
One sack against Trevor.
I don't know if this stat still holds up, but as of last week, we were tied for number one in turnovers forced.
I think they're number 2 now.
All right, so get back into number one, and that's going to come with pass rush.
Without a doubt. Player to watch for the Jets is obviously Mike White.
Yeah, I mean,
Seen him once. He's had a hell of a game.
Jamison Crowder is back after injury.
That's why Taron comes in there.
Yeah, I don't think they have much of a running game. None to know.
Nothing to write home about.
But you have a quarterback.
Elijah Moore had a great game last Thursday.
You have a quarterback coming out of nowhere in Mike White throwing 450 yards against a not so shitty team. Who did he play? Can you refresh
for
my
that
memory?
game? He played the Bengals.
Bengals have 5 wins.
Yeah, so did the Bills.
So what's saying
So you're
that
on the same plane.
Mike White can't do that to us? I doubt it. I'm going to
No,
lean
it's a
heavily
good
on saying that he's not going to be able to. But the Bengals are no slouches. He fucking lit them up.
Yeah, we need the Bills not to be a slouch on offense this week. I think that's how your defense wins.
You put pressure on them. You don't have
Make them pass.
the defense
Don't
on the
let them get
field for 75% of the game.
The fact that the Bills lost when only allowing 9 points and paying a quarterback $250 million really
To not throw the ball.
doesn't belong in this timeline somewhere.
He threw the ball 54 times. Yeah, I mean, that just, yeah.
I think this is the most important game of the year. Do you agree with me or no? Is that a hyperbole
Giving
on my point?
the circumstances, if the Bills squeaked out a win last week, I would say no. But given the circumstances, you're in a very difficult position. Something, luckily, as Bills fans in the past 3 years haven't had to deal with too much. The games that we did lose are flukes, or rightfully so, against a good team. You haven't lost to a shitty team like this in a couple of years.
Can't do it back to back. This is the most important
And
game
with
of
the
the year.
way the Bills played last week, puts more emphasis on this game. If it was you lost by a field goal, it was a shootout, fine. We've had those this year. We shit the bed. And it's very likely, statistically, to shit the bed twice.
I've been waiting for a Bills get-right game all season.
We shouldn't need a get-right game.
They need one now.
They certainly do.
This is a get-right game. I heard there was no dancing at practice today.
Good. Until you can consistently not suck like you did last week, there shouldn't be any dancing.
And I almost have to wonder, when did Orchard Park become that town from Footloose?
Don't keep baby in a corner? Or is that Dirty Dancing? That's probably Dirty Dancing.
No, you were right. Score prediction? Give me something real.
Yeah, I'm not giving you a 50-0. This team doesn't
They
deserve
don't
it.
deserve that.
I'm going to barely say 17-10. And trust me, I'm going to be upset if we only score 17 points. But it is the most realistic thing I can come up with without being upset.
I'll give you one.
What do you got?
Jets win.
Is this legit? You think this is going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
You think the Jets are going to win?
13-10. Because
All
the
right.
Bills fucking suck.
So let's talk about this. You brought it up. Well, we're going to need to explore this. What happens with the Buffalo Bills if we lose 13-10?
Dable's fired.
Rightfully so.
Bobby Johnson's fired.
Offensive line coach, yes.
Derek Anderson, or not Derek Anderson.
Yes.
Derek Anderson starting
We have
quarterback.
to
No.
beg him to come back.
What's his face? Ken Dorsey, offensive coordinator for the rest of the year.
I can respect that. If we lose to the Jets,
Can't make a trade.
you're fucked.
You're losing your offensive coordinator.
Do you? Two questions.
Bills win 24-10.
Do you need Odell to save your season?
If you lose the Jets,
That was part 2.
if you lose the Jets, if you lose the Jets and don't try for Odell, you lose the fan base.
You lose the fan base. So
Because if he goes to New England, New England wins the division. Odell has some kind of impact, 300 yards, 6 touchdowns, whatever. Some wow, Odell really kind of did make a difference in New England, won them the division. You do nothing for me now, Bean. You didn't fix the offensive line. You tried somewhat. You brought on Bobby Hart. Dude was a turnstile inside Sunday night football.
So you look at it.
So you're losing your fastball. They talk. Hey, you know what? That just triggered me. Trigger words. Lose your fastball. How many times do we hear this offseason? Oh, we don't want to lose our fastball. We don't want to lose our fastball. The Bills look like a damn pitcher that just got out of Tommy John surgery for frick's sake.
For fuck's sakes.
You lost your fastball. You don't even have a curveball. You can barely make it across the mound at the plate at this point.
Your inseam looks like shit, Sonny. Does that make sense?
That's not baseball. I don't know what you're talking about.
Four seam? That's a baseball pitch.
Inseam's a pants.
Oh, there's not an inside pitch?
You watched a lot of Red Sox with me this summer. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just one game that went until 3:00 in the morning that one time.
That was 3 years ago. It was a World Series game. Listen, don't lose your fastball.
Ben lost.
Gone. Should have taken the year off.
This wasn't the season that I was envisioning.
I did not in a million years think we'd lose the Jaguars, especially the Urban Meyer Jaguars. Not the late night, I'm not taking the plane ride home back with you, Urban Meyer team. Pathetic. And if you don't crush the Jets this week, you're not getting me back on your bandwagon. I'm going to expect you guys to beat the Jets this week by a lot. Or else, you know what? You're just another team. It's 2018 again, and I'm guessing wins.
Time to get back on our bullshit.
Yeah. You want me to make me a better podcaster? Did I get lazy over the last couple of years? Maybe. Maybe I got lazy as podcasting because it was really easy to win. You want me to start laying into guys, getting blocked by Cody Ford again? I'm blocked by Cody Ford. You know what? Still to this day, the best and only block I've ever seen him make.
Fuck Cody Ford.
Terrible. Oh, my God. That is so Pop Warner's level playing he has. So Pop Warner.
Blocked his own team better than he did.
I'm going to start laying into guys again. I'll lay into guys. Hell, that's it. Jets. If the Jets win this game, Brian Dable's job's on the line. That's my call out. I'm back to my 2019 Bills. I'm calling people out. I'm expecting more out of them. This is real too, because I mean it. If you lose to the Jets because your offense doesn't score points, out. Dable's out. Because listen, Leslie Frazier's not going to let me down. I've known him since 2017. I know exactly what his defense is going to bring to the table. I know exactly what our back end is going to bring to the table. Linebackers know. Pass rush, iffy. But you know what? It's the Jets. Offensive line better be ready because Quentin Williams is going to eat your lunch twice. They're going to come after you. Robert Saleh's got a great defense.
Especially after what happened against the Jaguars.
Yeah, they're going to be ready to eat. These guys are sitting there in bed right now. Oh, honey, I'm going to have 3 sacks this week. Oh, bucket. I've been to New York City. I know. I've seen Uncut Gems.
Yeah, but have you ever been to New Jersey?
Yeah, I've gone through that tunnel and what a shithole.
Been in an airport.
I've been to Newark. All right, what else we need
Best
to get to?
thing
Score
about
prediction?
New Jersey is being able to see New York.
And Sopranos. Dad, are you in the mafia? Am I in the what? Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Gabagool.